Hey folks, my name is Carl and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to start with a very tough one because I came across a heartbreaking story. Someone had applied for jobs for many months, I think about 11 months. They had no responses. They didn't seem to be making any headway. And after all that time, they ended up taking their own life. Now it's hard because it's tough and it's honestly confusing to make the sense of that kind of pain. But the truth is, job rejection can really cut deep. So today, let's talk openly about job rejection, mental health, and how we can support each other, support ourselves through these very hard moments. I talk about job seeking, resumes, applications, immigration tips for newcomers and stuff like that. But today I want to go beyond that because the job hunt isn't about just paperwork. It's also an emotional roller coaster. If you've ever faced rejection after rejection and wondered what now, well, I want to tell you, you are not alone. In this video, I'm going to cover why rejection feels so heavy, real life voices from people going through it, practical steps to protect your mental health and keep moving, and what to do if financial struggles are making things worse. So it's not going to just be a pep talk. I want it to be a real heartfelt conversation that we're going to dive in. Now let's talk about why rejection hurts so much. Why does job rejection feel so crushing? Now the thing is, it feels like that because you're not just applying for a role, you are putting in your hopes, your future, and sometimes even your identity. Now when that falls through, it's more than just disappointing. It can break you inside. Now on Reddit, where I picked the original story from, there were many other people that shared their stories, and people wrote things like, the continual rejections are taking a toll on my mental well-being. And another person said, I feel suicidal. This is so grueling. So these are not just comments, these are cries for help, and it shows how dangerous silence can be if we don't talk about what rejection does to us. Now, let's talk about the Canadian job market reality. And here's the thing, it's not just about you. The Canadian job market is really tough right now. Even high school students have been saying they cannot find summer jobs. Jobs that used to be easy to get back in the day. I mean, students are struggling to find these jobs, and that blew my mind because if teenagers are struggling for part-time work, then imagine how competitive it is for full-time roles. And this has had the government talking because it is becoming quite severe. It is becoming a big issue because high school students, university students on vacation, I mean, they could get those summer jobs to get by, save some money, take back to school and help them with their education and stuff like that. Now it's becoming impossible in Canada. Some job postings get literally thousands of applications. It's wild. So when you don't hear back, it doesn't automatically mean that you are unqualified. It often means that the system is overcrowded, and knowing that can take some of the shame off your shoulders, right? The system is quite overcrowded. And I mean, if you want to test this out, you can go on Indeed, and if you find a job that you like and you want to apply for, or even on LinkedIn, sometimes they're able to tell you the number of applications that that particular job posting has received. And sometimes just in a few minutes, you can see hundreds and hundreds of applications. So imagine in a few days' time, the system is critically overcrowded. Now for immigrants, it's even worse. I mean, the rejection even hits harder because some immigrants are in debt even before they arrive in Canada. You know, some of them still owe arrears to the so-called connection man who helped them get to Canada. Then they have the bills, the rent, the food, the transit. And then don't forget the black tax, you know, family and friends back home who expect help every month. So when the rejections pile up, you are not just hurt emotionally, it is your finances, your relationships, your entire future. That pressure is real. Trust me, it is real and it's heavy. But you are not weak for feeling it. That's what I want you to understand. You are not weak for feeling that pressure or feeling that pain, okay? Anyone in your shoes will feel the same. I personally remember when I was applying for so many jobs back in the day, and the rejections took a toll on me at a point. So understand that you're not weak for feeling it. Everyone in your shoes will feel the same. So then what can you do right now if you're struggling? I wanted to talk about some practical steps, okay? Now, first of all, reach out, okay? Reach out. Not just online, but actually call someone. Call a friend, call a family member, I'll speak to a counselor, talk to somebody, okay? And if you are ever in danger of hurting yourself, there are crisis hotlines that are there for free, okay? Please take advantage of those and just take a deep breath, okay? Reach out. That would be the first step. Now, the second step that I would advise on this channel is find small moments of calm, all right? So take a walk, cook something you enjoy, listen to music. Now, I'm not saying that these are fixes. These are going to fix the issues. That's not what I'm saying. They are not fixes. I'm just saying these things can help give your mind a break, because most of the pressure, you're feeling it mentally, okay? Apart from the financial pressure and everything else, the mental pressure is very, very heavy. So I'm just saying these things can help give your mind a break. Now, thirdly, shift from applications to connections, okay? So you have to re-strategize, all right? Networking, volunteering, or even talking to people in your field can open more doors than 200 cold applications, okay? That's what the research shows, that networking, volunteering, talking to someone in the field, those things work a little bit faster than sending 200 applications over a certain period of time. So when things are not going as planned, it is just the opportunity or the right time to also try to re-strategize and think of other ways to try to land that job. Now, number 4, I'm going to say set micro goals. Okay, now what do I mean by that? Sometimes sending tons and tons of applications can become overwhelming, and sometimes you might end up giving up entirely. You wouldn't send any application anymore. Now, what I'm saying is that try to apply for just one job a day. Okay, set micro goals. So apply for just one job today, and then the next day you take it as it goes. So customize one resume. That could also be a micro goal. You customize one resume, do one follow-up, celebrate the small wins, okay? And then these small wins eventually add up, okay? Now, again, these steps won't solve everything overnight. That's not what I'm preaching, okay? But they can at least keep you standing when it feels very impossible and you just want to give up. Now, let's also be real. Sometimes rejection isn't just about pride or disappointment. It's about money. When you don't have a job, the bills don't necessarily stop. They keep coming. Rent is due, groceries are expensive, and back home, your family might still be expecting some support. So what can you do if financial struggles are piling up? First of all, I would say try to cut non-essential expenses for now, okay? It's tough, but look at your budget and trim wherever possible. Think of it as a temporary survival mode until you're back on your feet, okay? Now, secondly, check if you qualify for local support. So in Canada, there are food banks that can help you find something to eat if you're struggling, for meals in a day. There are settlement agencies that can help you with, rentals and stuff like that. There are employment centers, especially for immigrants, that help you to fix your resume, apply for jobs and stuff like that, and even temporary government benefits depending on your status. So thing is, many newcomers don't know these resources exist, but they do. They exist, and they are free. Many of them are free, especially the community centers and all of that. So make sure you take advantage of those. Now, the third one is take bridge jobs. Okay, even if it is not your dream role, I know most of the immigrants are very, very qualified. Most of you come here with high qualifications. You're qualified, and going back to do survival jobs is sometimes very, very heartbreaking. But it is a bridge job. That's what I call it, right? It's a bridge job. Just consider those temporary, part-time, or survival jobs, whether it's retail, warehouse, delivery, customer service, just to keep that paycheck coming in, because sometimes that paycheck keeps you afloat while you keep applying for better opportunities. Okay, so don't hesitate. Now, number 4, negotiate or defer payments. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, there are some landlords, I cannot say all of them, but some landlords, banks, and I can tell you for free that Canadians are amazing people. So I know it is possible to get some landlords that are willing to actually give you a break on rent. I'm not guessing this. I know it has happened before to a number of people that I know, that they were able to talk to their landlords. They gave them a break on their rent so they could get back up on their feet, and then they paid the rent. Okay, so just speak to your landlord, speak to your bank, speak to your utility companies if you have some utilities to pay, and just try to set up some payment plans, explain your situation to them, and they may be willing to help. It's better to ask than to silently sink into debt. Lastly, if you are religious, seek support from your faith community. So many churches, mosques, and even temples have benevolence funds or community programs that help people with rent, food, or even job connections. So don't be shy to ask. Those programs are there to help people out. Now, the key is you don't have to solve everything at once. Like I said, just try to secure the basics: food, housing, health, then build back up step by step. Now, before we sign off, let's take some wisdom from those who have been in such situations that have managed, to get out of it. Now, one person said that things don't work out immediately. I pivoted, built new skills, and later ended up with a PhD and a great job. Okay, that's one person. Another person said, jobs are just jobs. They don't define your worth. Okay. Now, I like this particular person's statement a lot, because jobs are just jobs. They don't define your worth, because sometimes when you keep applying for jobs and you keep getting those rejections, you begin to feel like you're not worth it. You're not worth of that job. And sometimes you're even applying for jobs that are lower than your qualifications. You actually have all the experience and all the expertise way higher than they're asking for, but you still don't get the job. And sometimes when that happens over and over again, you begin to think maybe you are not worth it, or maybe you begin to devalue yourself. It takes a mental toll on you. So I really like this person's quote. It says, jobs are just jobs. Okay, they don't define your worth. All right, so just keep that in mind. Now, another person says, you've made it to the final round. That means you're close. Keep going, especially when your resume is getting interviews, but then you keep getting silence or rejection from those interviews. You know that your resume is being seen. At the right time, something is going to pop up. Just keep going. Now, these are not just motivational quotes. I don't want you to take them as motivational quotes. It's proof of those who have actually been in similar situations and showing that resilience can grow even in the hardest moments. So these people being in these situations are showing that they have been able to develop some resilience and be able to get out of those situations. So these are not just motivational quotes. They are actually statements from real people who have been in similar situations. So to recap, I just want to say that job rejection hurts. and it feels personal, but do not take it personally, okay? It doesn't reflect your worth, okay? It's just that when the market is choked and overcrowded, it becomes, things happen this way, and there are so many rejections in the system, but it's not really about you, right? Also, that the Canadian job market is crowded. Like I said, even students are struggling. Okay, I just was watching the news lately, and I realized that the labor minister was talking about this. Pierre Poilievre is talking about this, and it's everyone is talking, right? Everybody's talking because it's so hard. There are people that have stayed at home unemployed for over a year. Okay, so it's tough. It's tough, and I know that it's tough. I'm just saying, hang in there, okay? Don't give up. And if those, intrusive thoughts are coming in, just try as much as possible to speak to someone. Now, I'm gonna say again, in wrapping up, that immigrants, I know that you face unique pressures with arrears, bills, and a black tax. Try as much as possible to stay level-headed. Cut your expenses and take those great jobs, okay? Now, also, you can cope with the small steps. Reach out, lean on faith if you're a religious person, set micro goals, like I said, and, find some financial lifelines, something that can give you a break. And again, I want to stress this point so much, that remember, your worth is not tied to a job offer. Okay, so that when they reject you, it means you're not worth it. You're not worth it. That's not it. Okay, your worth is not tied to a job offer. Your journey is not over. This is one chapter, not the ending. Okay, this is just one chapter. It's not the ending. If this video connected with you, please give it a thumbs up. It helps more people to see it, people who might also need this video. Okay, so please give it a thumbs up and comment below, even if it's just to say, I'm here. Okay, sometimes that simple connection makes a big difference. And if you're struggling, please reach out to someone today or call a hotline. You matter and your life matters. And on the screen, I'm going to post some of the helplines that you can dial, especially if you are in Ontario, and also some hotlines that you can dial if you are in Canada. I'm going to put those hotlines and links to resources in the description of this video as well, so that you can take advantage of them. Okay, please hang in there. I know it's tough, but like someone said, this too shall pass. All right, thank you so much for watching to the very end. Subscribe to the channel if you are yet to do so, as it really helps to grow the channel. Thank you for watching again, and I'll see you in the next video.